Thanks for joining me for this topic of communication. My name is Alan Jones, and a number of years ago I took a course on ancient wisdom literature from Dr. Bruce Waltke. We examined a lot of topics, but one of the lectures that really caught my attention was wisdom on communication. Dr. Waltke boiled it down to the acrostic gentle breath. Gentle breath. Actually, that first part isn't really an acrostic, it's just a word to remember. Gentle. Gentle is an especially important word to remember when a conversation escalates into a conflict. The literature put it this way. You've probably heard it before. It says this: a gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. In other words, don't put gas on the fire. Avoid an escalating one-upmanship in volume and aggressive language. It's so tempting to crank up the language to win the argument. But you have to ask yourself, do I want to win or do I want to communicate? Most of the time, hopefully, we want to communicate. But what's interesting is that a gentle answer can actually move your position forward quite a bit. The ancients put it this way: through patience, a ruler can be persuaded, and a gentle tongue can break a bone. What's that mean? Well, it's about a patient, gentle persuasion with somebody that's in power or authority over you, a boss, a supervisor, the government, whatever it might be. And he says, don't get provoked, but instead give a gentle response. It's strong enough to break a bone. In other words, it's strong enough to break the power dynamic and allow true communication to really happen. All right, gentle breath. First letter, B. Boast not. Wow, so many of us can learn from this. Why is it it's so easy to notice boasting in other people and recognize just how off-putting it is, but yet we can fall into boasting ourselves? Here's the proverb: do not boast about tomorrow, for you do not know what a day may bring, and don't call attention to yourself. Let others do that for you. Of course, there's a place for confidence and offering help where we can, to say, I can help out with that. But we can tell the difference within ourselves between confidence and boasting. We have to avoid communicating in ways where we come across like we think we are superior or better than or smarter than the other person. It's just a barrier to communication. All right, gentle Beth, B.R. Restrained. King Solomon, who is reported to be one of the wisest people that ever lived, wrote this: starting a quarrel is like breaching a dam. So just stop the matter. Restrain yourselves before a dispute breaks out. The one who has knowledge uses words with restraint, and whoever has understanding is even tempered. We've all been in situations where afterwards we think, man, I should have thought that through before I said that. Or, why did I bring that topic up then? I knew things were kind of tense. Or, I'm very familiar with, there was just a little bit too much heat in how I said that. Good communication practices restraint. We think it through in content, in timing, and delivery before we speak. A mentor once told me something one of his mentors told him. He said this: Alan, you can always say more later, but you can never take it back. Restraint. All right, B.R.E. Eavesdrop not. Eavesdropping is listening to conversations that we shouldn't. The ancients warn against gossip and doing that. Here's the droplet of wisdom. The words of a gossip are like delicious morsels. They go down into the inner parts of the body. What does that mean? Well, sometimes it's just hard not to listen. It's tempting to get in on the latest news, but it goes down deep inside of us and it changes how we think of other people, even if we don't want it to. And all too often, gossip starts trouble. This is what the proverb says: for lack of wood, the fire goes out, and where there is no gossip, quarreling ceases. Now that's something to think about. It's just best not to listen to gossip. It might even hurt you. You know, King Solomon got a little jaded in his old age, and he wrote this piece of advice: don't eavesdrop on the conversation of others. What if the gossip's about you and you'd rather not hear it? I mean, you've done that a few times, haven't you? Said things behind someone's back that you wouldn't say to his face. Sometimes hearing what people are saying about us hurts us more than it is worth. Don't eavesdrop. Don't gossip. One last warning about eavesdropping and avoiding gossip. Gossips can never keep secrets, so never confide in blabbermouths, because the word is going to be passed on, probably with a little twist on the end that you didn't intend to. All right, gentle breath. A, act. You know, restrained speech doesn't mean that we don't speak, and not every word is gossip. Speech is good. Communication with good content and good style is helpful. Here's some wisdom. The right word at the right time is like a custom-made piece of jewelry. Like an earring of gold is the correction of a wise person to a listening ear. And did you notice that there was a two-way street there? Gold and silver is a gift, and so is good communication. But there needs to be an ear willing to listen for the communication to work. You know, even though that sometimes the things we have to say are tough, they can be like a gift if done right, in the right time, in a gentle, restrained, thoughtful way. By the way, thoughtful, that's the T in gentle breath. Thoughtful. To answer before listening, that is foolishness. It's a saying that encourages us to really listen, to hear the words, the meaning, and the feelings behind them, and then process them before we respond to the other person. Now, that way, even if we end up disagreeing, everybody appreciates being listened to. Be thoughtful in your communication. All right, last letter, H. Gentle breath. H. Honesty is valued and essential to good communication. In the end, it's better to be honest than to just speaking a bunch of fluff. I don't know if you've had this experience, but I have it quite frequently when I'm watching TV or a movie with Sheena, and I'm thinking, why don't they just tell them? Just tell the girl. Just tell her. Just tell her. But of course they never do, and the drama unfolds. But that's the point, isn't it? To create the tension and the drama and make the story. Well, in my communication, I don't want the tension and the drama. I just want to be honest so that the problem doesn't begin to compound. You know, ancient kings had such authority, really authority over life and death. And it was scary to be honest because there could be a big cost. Sometimes we're afraid to be honest because we do a cost-benefit analysis and we think, man, the consequences of speaking the truth here, I don't want to pay them. But one king wrote this: kings take pleasure in honest lips. They value the one who speaks what is right. In the end, serious reprimand is appreciated far more than boot-licking flattery. Honesty. Sometimes it's hard to do, but as we have all heard, honesty is the best policy. Well, communication, wise communication, gentle breath. Hey, if you found these tips helpful, they can be found in the book of Proverbs, just about in the very middle of the Bible if you open it up. If you think it would be helpful, subscribe to our channel or click the link below for some more wisdom from the ancients.